Well, hello again, and finally. Bet you didn't know there was a bazillion chords in Open G that we haven't covered yet. So today, without Rodney's help, let me just quickly explain our disappearance, our little vanishing act. I've had pneumonia twice in the last 5 weeks, really bad, and waiting for a call from my doctor today to see if I can even leave the house. I feel captive. And Rodney's fixing one of the 3 cars he's working on, 2 of which are mine, of 2 of the 3, and one his Subaru. He's got the transmission laying. He's a sharp cat. I told you that before. But we've been without transportation and both been sick, so I tried to spank a couple of audio tracks up just to let you know that I hadn't forgotten about you, but they didn't get a very good response, and I don't blame you. I mean, who wants to just listen to something that you probably heard? So no big deal. Welcome. God bless you. Thank you for showing up again. Today we're going to get a tippy toe into the Atlantic Ocean on what there really is inside of the tuning that is called the Queen of All Tunings by David Hidalgo. Now, if you remember, let's just, in case some of you are watching me for the first time, we're in Open G tuning. I could probably play could play in a band all night on a guitar with just Open G. There's that much to be had out of this tuning instead of just, it would help if I had a slide. We're gonna look into some advanced chords, some advanced chord shapes, and how to use them in turnarounds. We're going to look at a few more really cool vamps. One of them is kind of like the Lazy Man's groove. Okay, Open G. Here's the G pentatonic and major scales are all, and minor scales, harmonic minor scales, all that. Happy Horseman are between like the 2nd and the 7th fret. This is lick territory, other than around the 12th. And I've harped and harped and harped. Not really. I don't rant, but it's of paramount importance to understand this tuning and the significance of the G, B, and D, or the D. Let's just do the whole tuning. D, G, D, G, B, D. Okay, so the D, G, B are the same tones in the same places they are in standard tuning. Therefore, it's a wonderful place to get advanced chords out of. Some of them are shell chords, some of them are full voicings. I sat down with what do they call musical paper, and I wrote this stuff out in standard notation, and I did the counting and the intervals and the math and stuff, and I'm not even going to tell you the names. Like, there's simple 6th chords, but there's stuff like F augmented 7th flat 5. No, that wouldn't be right. I wrote that wrong. F sharp to F sharp augmented, C over F sharp sus 4. You don't need to know that. You just need to memorize. Just like you don't know the extreme significance. This is a real chorus Eden bottle. They're like stupid valuable these days. You don't need to know. I know the notes because I've been playing this tuning for so long, but. But my point is, if you memorize the shapes, I don't have to bore you with, and the other thing is, some of them have 4 possible musical names, depending on what you consider the root and its relationship to the other strings, if you're going to play any of them. So dig this. Now you're playing blues in the key of G, right? There's a little double stop right here that makes a G chord. It's the, I'm not going to name notes either. Sometimes guys that do that tick me off. Because although I know all the notes in open G tuning and standard and open D and dadgad and blah, 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 big deal. Can you play? So we're going to go 3rd fret of the D string. I don't care what note it is, even though I know. And we're going to go 4th fret of the G string. Okay, and 1 fret back is your 4 chord, folks. Don't change your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just say you're comping behind a singer or whatever, and this is how the song goes. This is not any song in particular, but... 5 chord, 1 fret up. Okay, so that's just 1, 4, 1, 4, 5. So, if you take standard tuning, this is a D, just a regular straight D chord, not a 13th. This is a D chord. It's not going to sound right because this is open G tuning. But if you dissect it a little bit, you have, that's a D, that's a G chord. I don't know what I said last time. If I said D ninth, I'm sorry. Apologies, but I'm not doing this twice today. And use these 3 fingers, because because I don't feel that great. I still have pneumonia. That's a D9 chord. Here's a C9 chord. Okay. We showed you, well, no, don't jump around. So if you take this and you move it back, that is actually a G over C sus4, I believe. I like I said, I'm not going to tell you because who gives a darn. But 4th fret, D string, 5th fret, G string. Hopefully you can see this. And then your pinky on the what is the B string on the 6th fret. And since these are passing chords, that's a real good substitute for a 7th. Let's just say for a dominant chord. Sounds a little 13-ish to me. I know what it is, but like I said, I'm going to avoid the names intentionally. Those are diminished chords or 6th chords, either one. So slowly. Or you could resolve it to the D. You can move these shapes to move from the 1 to the 4, to move from the 4 to the 5. You figure it out, because I'm sorry, I didn't mean that to sound rude. But it would take hours and hours of videos to give you all the scenarios. Improvise. So something like that, it would fit over, whatever. Now, I realized that I did not show you this chord yet. That's a minor 6, by the way. Minor 7th chord, by the way. You just put your pinky on the top string, the 1st string, and then you hinge bar the next two frets down, and that's a minor 7th chord. I'm thinking of other stuff I was playing this morning that had a lot of minor 6 chords in it. A little jazzier stuff. Those are minor. Okay, so here's your. There's your minor chord, or you can just finger it. Okay, but back to the point. Sometimes I have a hard time staying there. So here's the first 2 chords: D9, something 13th-ish or dominant that fits, because you're not going to stay on there for the whole song. So same shape, only take your middle finger off of the there you go, and you're going to take your middle finger off of this 3rd string on the 4th fret, and you're going to move it up to the 4th string on the 4th fret, and you're going to play. That sounds like a chord that needs to resolve, like a 7th, some dominant chord that needs to resolve. But so. And I'm playing it on this guitar because with a clear slide, because I'm trying to get used to see my fingers better. Okay, where was I going to go from here? That's a darn good question. So you got that. And you go wherever you ba-ba, resolve it, or get into whatever part of a song you need. But that's a great way to comp behind a singer and only have to move 2 frets, 1 down and 1 up. So it's a little double stop right here. There's the tonic, the 4, and the 5, and of course, you're damping. Got to kill those strings. Not so much on an acoustic guitar like this 040, but when you're playing a resonator, you do. Okay, more chords. Brain Dead James. I don't want to look over at this chart that I made, and that just takes more of your time. But I'm not real good at this technical stuff, so I hope this turns out. There's a bazillion variations of it. You can go from the C. We're not going to get way deep into it. I said your baby toe or your big toe. Okay, I'm going to put this guitar down and show you some more cool stuff. Speaking of cool, I had UPS knock on my door today. My dogs went absolutely crazy, and I have a lot of dogs. Bad mistake to just walk into my house, although lots of people do. If they know you, you're fine. If they don't, you're dead. I got this from UPS today from a company in Oregon called Sound Smith. This is a very expensive little resonator. If there are some of you folks out there that, quite frankly, can't afford one, you might be able to go for this one. I really haven't done much evaluating on it yet, but I just tuned it up. This is the first time I'm playing it. It's pretty cool. It's mighty light. It's parlor size. It's got open geared tuners on it. It does not have a pieced-on headstock, which is one of the things that aggravate the heck out of me. But, my Nationals are getting pricey. That's I'm certainly not used to this guitar, and it's also almost banging my chin in it. I think I felt my beard rubbing on it. Got to protect the face when you live in Wisconsin. It can go from 6 below at night to 48 degrees above in the day, and we get lots of snow. So I usually raise a beard in the winter time for the stinking weather around here. Although it's cool living where we do. I had eagles in my yard yesterday, in my trees, and deer in my side yard, which I dig. You know, it's nice to be out here in the quiet and the darkness. Let's play a little Robert Johnson on this and see how she reacts. One of those other turnarounds. It's still kind of up too high, but all right, we're gonna get into a beansy bit of my style. I like vampy, like my Continental Boogie song. Minor chord. It's a little hard to play for me. First of all, the strings are too loose. I'm sorry, too light. And the string spacing is hellacious. It's like, but, you know, I dig the woody tone of this. Its construction is pretty decent. I'd recommend it for $500. I mean, so where are we gonna go? Going to go. Man holds a PhD and he says gonna. Where are we going to go with open G next? More chords, more turnarounds. Some cool country licks like that little pedal steely thing. We're going to learn a lot of blues. We're going to learn some ouch. Action's a little high, but oh shucks, I'll teach you some Hawaiian music if you want to learn some Hawaiian music, some dobro kind of. Oops. Some quicker rapid fire stuff with which you know, I like to play that, but I like the real legato stuff too. You know, another really sweet chord behind the slide. Just 2 frets back and 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, 4 strings up. I really like chords behind the slide, obviously. There's a cat named Ariel Polson. I believe it's Aeril. Might be Polson. Look him up on the internet. He's the only other than Sonny Landreth who got me off on this tangent. Listening to him decades ago when he didn't have a record deal and he made his own little CD. And I think it was called Down in Louisiana, where I have lived. Intonation's not bad. Ariel Paulson is a cat that he plays an open C. You got to use like towing cables so the strings don't flap like rubber bands, but boggles my mind how good he is. And he's almost an entirely behind the slide player. I mean, you can that sucked because of the guitar. I am not switching guitars on you. He's amazing. I don't even understand what he's doing. You know, there's a lot of things you can. More seventh chords behind the slide. We'll get into all of this stuff. This is just kind of a, hey there, how you doing? This is where we've been. Here's a couple of my licks and chords video. I'm gonna go back to bed now, I think, but excuse me. I'm sorry. Thanks very much for showing up. That's where we've been, and we'll be back. I am always going to teach for the rest of my life or the rest of the time that I'm able. Now, I'm in my mid-70s, so don't dawdle, you know.